In this video, I'm going to show you how I found a £300,000 property deal using Claude Code, specifically Claude Code skills. Now on the screen right now, you can see the reduced properties list that I retrieved from the internet using Claude Code skills. So as a property investor, you have access to Claude Code, specifically the skills. The skills aspect of Claude Code is what would help us retrieve all of this useful information using just the spoken language. You don't need to be technical, you don't need to be a super genius to use this solution, and I'm sharing it. And by the end, if you want the exact setup that I've got, just send me a message and it will be yours. Now on the screen, we've got a list of different properties from the reduced properties list. Now we're looking for motivated sellers. We're looking for sellers who are prepared or potentially could accept offers if we made an offer to them. Now right here, the very first property is in Pimlico, central London, and that's been reduced by roughly 73.5%. Now all of this calculation was done automatically using Claude Code, and you can do exactly the same. So what does that look like? What you need to do is create a folder or a directory within your system, install Claude, and open Claude to that directory that you've just created. Now if you look at my screen, the files that I have set up within the folder that I created includes another subfolder called .claude. So .claude is .claude, and within .claude, another folder needs to exist called skills. So these skills are essentially the instructions that we pass to Claude, enabling Claude or instructing Claude to go off onto the internet and perform the searches that we need it to do, to perform the searches and the calculations. Now my directory also includes a governing file, or a file that has instructions that's in control of everything else within the directory structure. So if we have a look at claude.md, which is the overall instruction set. So the overall instruction set just essentially gives Claude an idea as to what this project is about. So it's find distressed and below market property opportunities using public data sources and APIs. Now what are the APIs? So these APIs are the internet websites that we connect to in order to get this information. In my case, I have connected to PropertyData, and PropertyData has an API, which is the endpoint that you can reach out to and ask it for information relating to what you're interested in. So we've given Claude an idea as to what this project is about, or what this folder contains. And then within that folder, you then have a directory structure which Claude expects to see if you are using skills. And that directory is .claude. So it's on the same level as claude.md. You create a .claude folder, and within .claude you create another folder called skills. Skills are the actual workhorses of this type of solution. Now within skills, I've created another folder called find deals. So it's just a case of new folder, your project name. Within that project, you create a claude.md giving Claude the instructions, just detailed instructions as to what that project is about. So a project is the same as a folder. And then within that same folder, you create another folder called .claude. So I'm showing you the tree based on my current folder and what I used to generate the information that you saw earlier. So .claude, and then within .claude you create skills, and within skills you create another folder. That folder, or those sets of folders, are the different skills that you'll be creating. So in my case, I've got one called find deals. So right here, shaded. So find deals, and within find deals, I have a skill.md. So every skill you create would live in one of these folders and have a file called skill.md. So let's have a look at the find deals skill.md. So skill.md essentially starts by given the name of the skill, which is find deals, and then a description. So that description tells Claude what that skill has been developed to do. And if you can have a look here, it shows how to use a skill, how to call it, and how to trigger it when you are ready to use a skill, or to get the skill to go off and do some work for you. Now Once you have the skill in place and you restart the Claude instance, the moment you type / right, Claude / it will show you the skill. So in this case, it's showing us find deals. Now let me show you the same thing in the Claude Code desktop app. So if we look at the desktop app here, the moment I type / here at the bottom, it shows me a list. So it shows me a list of all the skills and other skills, internal skills that are available. So I type / find deals, right? And when I type that and I press tab, it shows me the description. So that description is essentially what gives this the instruction that it needs in order to run. So this is one I've run earlier.